Beats Planet.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Wait a minute. There we go. What's good, y'all? What's happening? Let me take a sip of this water before we get started. Because you all know that water tastes better after a Cowboy W. Actually, everything is better as a whole. Matter of fact, let me turn off my headphones so I can save the power on them. So for when we get into the calls, I'll have headphones and I can hear what the hell y'all's talking about. Hey man, listen, man. Something I just want to kind of get off my chest. Like, first of all, is don't let the haters have more fun than you. Man, let me sip my water one more time on that shit. Hold on. Let me sip my water one more time on that one before I get going. Let me just, Don't let the haters have more fun than you. Don't allow somebody that's not in this immediate Cowboy fan circle tell you how to feel about your football squad. Now, there's going to be some division rivals. Some should be shutting the hell up. I think all three division rivals should be shutting the hell up at this point, especially the ones that wear green. They need to shut up the most. But there are Cowboy haters that come from every denomination, every fan base. That they're going to be Cowboy haters that are willing to tell you how bad your team is, or how you haven't played anyone, or how it's all a fluke. Well, that's cute, honestly. But if you look at this league, and if you look at the top teams in this league, right, they'll say, oh, the Cowboys haven't played anybody. Well, how many teams would you consider to be anybody? It's about 7 of them all together, scattered between the AFC and the NFC. And it might be 6 because I consider the Eagles to be trash right about now. I consider the Eagles to be a little bit of trash right around now. So I don't even consider them as anybody to beat. So playoff teams, the new definition, in my opinion, of playoff teams is you beat the teams you're supposed to beat, and the handful of times you play somebody, you beat them. But those teams you're supposed to beat, you beat them handily. We've done nothing but beat those teams handily. This is how high we think of our Cowboys now. Also, this is how high the enemy thinks about us. Let me tell you how high the enemy thinks about us. That they can look at the Cowboys play against the Dolphins and they can say, oh, y'all had a tough game versus the Dolphins. If that is a tough game, you think highly of us. Regardless of the fact that we're 3-0 and we've won those 3 games by double digits every time. And if you exclude garbage time, we wouldn't even be having that conversation. If you exclude garbage time, double digit wouldn't even be fair to say. We would need another set of words that could quantify, what we really talking about here. In terms of dominance. Now, the Cowboys may have come out stale versus the Dolphins. They was playing catch pregame, rock, paper, scissors, shooting dice in the back, whatever they was doing. What matters is because we play 4 quarters for a reason. We play 4 quarters for a reason. And then he say, turn your mic down. I'm blowing the ears out of work. That's because I'm angry. That's because I'm angry. You know, when I get angry, my mouth get right on the microphone. My bad. What was I saying before Nene rudely interrupted me? Listen, okay, so we defeated teams that we were supposed to beat by double. That's what I'm talking about. The Dolphins. Come back, Dolphins. So we play 4 quarters for a reason. We play 4 quarters for a reason. So it could be close, but New Mexico State, they can have a close game versus Alabama, a close quarter versus Alabama. Close quarters happen because in the NFL, everybody's relatively close in talent. Relatively. But over the course of time, the reason why we play 4 quarters for a reason, the better team usually jumps out ahead. The better team usually continues to be better because at the end of the day, you need consistency to win. So when we show the consistency and we jump out ahead and we prove that we can play better over a long period of time and we prove that we can make adjustments at halftime, the first quarter don't matter because you don't win games in the first quarter. You win them after the fourth. If football was decided in 1 quarter, we'll be in deep shit. If football was decided in 1 quarter, we'd be in deep shit. But you want to know the best part about it? You want to know the best part about it? It ain't. So, I got a couple notes I want to touch on from the game yesterday because, yesterday was all about emotion. Yesterday was all about me being hype and angry. I've actually had a chance to sit down and, reflect on the game. I've watched it again this morning, and I'll be breaking down the all 22 when I get it. People ask me, like, yo, Voch, when you going to put the film out? I could put the film out now, but it's a couple things that I don't want to do. I don't want to piss off the NFL Illuminati by using their broadcast footage, and I don't want to sell y'all short by saying, look, because if I can show you the all 22, why would I show you the all 13? You know what I mean? Like I could show you the all 13, but it's a lot of details that would be missed if I showed you the all the all 13. But I want to give you the all 22, so hang tight on that. Couple points. Then we're gonna get into the phones. And for some reason, my this new phone system, it never showed me what my own damn number is. I always gotta look around. I always gotta look around for my number. The number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. If you want to call into the show, call in so I can get your comments, thoughts, any kind of commentary that you want to share with me. And we can have a little back and forth on this thing. Anyway, while the damn Eagles almost losing to Washington, and they are losing to the bad Atlanta Falcons, and they are losing to the punk-ass Dolphins, the punk-ass 2-0-1 Dolphins. Anyway, let's get into some of these notes here. I had a super chat. Let me get into that before I move on as well. David J. dropped a dime in the super chat. Truth, Voch. Thank you, David J. Appreciate you for supporting. Amari Cooper versus Xavier Howard. If you're really close to the Cowboy YouTube community, you know that Cowboys.com they have a YouTube channel right now, and they got a handful of good content on there. But Voch run things over here. You know what I'm saying? Voch. I mean, they got the official joint, you know what I mean, with the logo, and then they got the budget and all that. But in terms of content, y'all know Voch running this. Voch running this. Let me stop. But if you watch the interviews this week, these goofy cowboy media people, Clarence Hill, man, he was looking to get Amari Cooper to talk a little shit today. He says, "Hey man, you're looking to have a big game versus the Dolphins. They a little sorry over there." And Cooper's like, nah. I don't think they sorry. I think they got blowed out twice, but I don't think they sorry. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, "Oh well, Amari, are you licking your chops?" And he was like, "What? Are you licking your chops?" He's like, "Why?" I don't know, to get some yards. And then Coop was like, "Man, they got a Pro Bowl corner over there. What are you saying? What are you saying?" And it really made Clarence Hill sound kind of silly, but Cooper's right. They do have a Pro Bowl corner over there. They do have Xavier Howard over there. So I'm glad that Amari Cooper was aware of the matchup that he was going into. Like, the whole team may whoop the Dolphins' ass as a collective, but Amari Cooper did have a big fight in front of with Xavier Howard. But boy. Boy, oh boy, Coop put hands all over Xavier Howard, man. I can't wait to break down the film. That's why I'm waiting on the all 22, because if the all 13 is out there, you kind of lose track of the receivers, right? But when the all 22 come out, I get to show you what's going on. Coop set up some of his routes so nastily, man. Some of these cats, they just want to come off the ball, do a little head fake, and then run their route. Coop up here setting up his stuff, setting up his routes with two other routes, like three other routes at a time, man. It's just every movement that Cooper has, it has a purpose to it. You know what I mean? He for his touchdown or whatever, right? He ran this little disco in and out pivot whip, whatever route you want to call it or whatever, the one where you go in, then you cut, then you go out or whatever. I know 6 different names for it. But Cooper didn't just go in and out. He wanted to sell the slant first before he ran in and out. And you can watch him on the film, because if you look at some of his other slants, he sets up his slants. Sometimes he'll give a head fake to the outside to get back inside. Sometimes he'll run a fade to set up to go back inside. But you really get to see some of his slant mannerisms in how we set up this disco route. You know what I mean? And I just can't wait to show it to you, bro. But he scored on that. He scored again. He wherever he moved, Howard went with him. So we put him in the slot, giving him a two-way go. And Xavier Howard, when he was in the deep water, he was bound to drizzle out. And Coop had another big play. It was a drop, but then he had a big. He beat Xavier Howard. He didn't make the catch there, but he did beat Xavier Howard. Just another fantastic play, man. So Coop beat up on that Pro Bowl corner. And this is what I mean also when I say don't let Cowboy haters have more fun than you, because they'll constantly say, because all last year they were saying it. They were saying, oh, Coop ain't beat nobody. Oh, he beat all the Eagles corners ain't good. Then they're going to say, oh, the Giants corners ain't good. Then he'll beat Malcolm Butler. Then they'll go, oh, well, Malcolm Butler ain't great. Then we'll go and beat Josh Norman. Oh, Josh Norman ain't been good in years. Then we'll beat Marshawn Lattimore. For the Saints, and then he'll be like, he can't do it twice. You know what I'm saying? Then he'll beat Marcus Peters. So I think we shouldn't listen to Cowboy haters in terms of who has Coop beat, because hey, Xavier Howard is one of the better cornerbacks in the league. He's a Pro Bowler, just got paid, and regardless of what you say, regardless of the team surrounding him, a Pro Bowl corner is still a Pro Bowl corner, and Coop didn't get shut down. Let me hit the button on that. Are y'all still ready to have this Cheeto is better than Byron Jones conversation? As I just wipe my lip one time. Matter of fact, let me pour some more water before I get into that. I want everybody to listen real close. I want you to put your ear real close to the speaker. I want you to, push your headphones as close to your ear as possible. I want y'all to hear it. Listen, hold on. Listen. Oh, that's fantastic, man. Oh, hit the button one more time for water being great. Oh, God. Now, Now, when I get into this, I'm not saying that Cheeto's a bad corner or anything, because Cheeto is a fantastic corner. In terms of his physical ability, in terms of him always being in the right place at the right time. I think Cheeto is fantastic in that way. But Cheeto not looking for the football, it gets his ass bust every single time, man. Oh goodness, it gets him. And it's not like I'm not in a situation where I'm saying, hey, let's cut Cheeto. I'm not saying that, because if Cheeto does everything right but find the ball, then let's teach him how to find the ball. You know what I'm saying? Easy as that. Let's just, hey, look, the godsend of coaching that y'all call Chris Richard, the one coach in the league that can fix all your DB problems in a matter of weeks. Why don't y'all get y'all GOAT Chris Richard to teach Cheeto how to get his head around and find the daggone football, if he's so great? And I ain't hating on Chris Richard. Shouts out to him. but if he's a demigod coach, get his ass to teach Cheeto how to get his head around and find the football, please, in a hurry, if y'all don't mind. But Byron had another good game yesterday. Look, out of everybody's like celebrations, whether it be the Dak air punch or the Zeke feed me joint, or Cooper's silence, because Cooper does have the silence or whatever. D-Law got a little celebration. Quinn had a nasty celebration, galloping on the horse and all that. Jalen Smith with the swipe, Van Der Esch with the howl. Like, look, everybody got fantastic celebrations, but the best celebration is Byron Jones, boy. When Byron Jones, after he make a big play and he put the strap up in the air, then he holstered the strap and he holstered. Listen. I'm one of those Cowboy fans that get Alexa, shut your ass up. If this thing shuts up, Byron got the best celebrate. And look, the reason why I can't watch Cowboy football in public, because I like to jump up, I like to scream, I like to take my shirt off and flex at the TV. You know what I'm saying? I love to do that. So when Byron Jones make a play and he gets up and he puts the finger gun in the air and he holsters the strap, I'm holstering the strap with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a Second Amendment guy. So when Byron holsters the play the play. My bad, y'all. That's just me get too excited, man. Byron Jones, fantastic. But anyway, Byron had a lot of plays where he had to holster the strap. You know what I'm saying? They tried him, but they put some tall receivers on Byron, but Byron was able to play big. They put some quick guys on Byron. Byron was able to athlete with those guys. He just had fantastic coverage all day. So fantastic job by Byron. What else I got? Eagles is terrible. I touched on that. Offensive line had 3 holding penalties. Only one of them has been called trash, though. I'm gonna chill on that. But besides the 3 holding penalties, though, boy, look at our offensive line. And I was saying in the offseason that if we ever had to live in a world without Zeke, that if our offensive line blocks well, I think we can live with Tony. Now I understand it's the Dolphins and the the boom boom boom. What if we run into a D line that we just can't move that readily? I understand that. But the 3 D lines that we've run across, I think they're good practice moving forward. We've played top tier defensive ends so far, or a top tier defensive end. We've played a nasty 3-tech. We've played a run stopping bunch, I would say. We played a bunch with some athletic outside rushers. You know what I mean? So I think it's just solid that we get to get these different looks. Before we go into the big D-line games. The Saints are a pretty nasty D-line. The Jets will be a good D-line once we get there. The Eagles got a good D-line, but I ain't gonna say nothing else. The Vikings or whatever, right? So we got the Bears, the Rams. We have some pretty damn good D lines coming up. So this is some pretty good offensive line practice that we're getting right now. So let's just all be happy that we get to beat up on those guys before we do that. But the 200-yard rushes, man. I said I made a point yesterday. I think Zeke is the best complimentary football player in the National Football League. Let me sip my water before somebody cuts me out. I said that yesterday, and I heard a stat this morning talking about usage, player usage. And I normally don't rock with stats that, rank people or whatever, but actual stats in terms of these are actual like real numbers, then, I will listen to those stats. So a stat saying, Zeke was the 5th best running back according to our power index. I don't listen to those stats. But a stat that I do like, or that does give me some kind of indication of what's really going on. In the previous 3 years, Zeke's offensive usage on this team was 35%, which is a lot. Zeke was a third of our offense. You know what I'm saying? But these past 3 games in which Zeke has gotten 100 yards and all of them, touchdowns and all of them, I don't think Zeke got a touchdown. Yeah. But he did get 100. He did get 100 yards and all of them. But Zeke's percentage now is like 18 point something pi algorithm fraction. You know what I mean? And from a third of the offense to 18 point something Pythagorean theorem, you know what I'm saying? That's a big drop off. We're winning the game through Dak now. We're winning the game through Cooper, Gallup, Cobb, Whitten, Devin Smith, you know what I'm saying? But Zeke is now like a 5th compliment. Like, we ain't gotta run the ball. Like, look, when Zeke's rookie year, those run games were so explosively noticeable because we were getting more yards than we ever got. Explosively noticeable. These past 3 games, Zeke just been quietly leading the league in rushing. Quietly. Low key. And we ain't even been highlighting him. Dak's the one that's been throwing 5 touchdowns, 4 touchdowns. How many he threw yesterday? Like 3 or something like that. Dak's been throwing those. You know what I'm saying? I find that interesting, man. So just me saying that Zeke is still probably the most talented player on the team or whatever, but he's been the complimentary guy. And if that dude is the complimentary guy, if there's ever a situation that we run into a team, like we run into Belichick or something, right? And Belichick say, we're going to shut down Amari Cooper. Fine. We're going to run the ball with Zeke. We're going to throw the ball to Gallup, Cobb, tight ends, and Devin Smith. If you somehow have the personnel to say, okay, we're gonna shut down the run and we're gonna da-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-da, we still got, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes this thing scary, man. Press the button for making this thing scary, bro. Somebody in my chat box says Dalvin Cook is leading the league in rush. Who cares? Ain't wrong with you. That's a Cowboys show, dog. Nobody care about numbers and stats and shit. They ain't 3-0. Nah, Vikings ain't 3-0. Nah. And boy, Robert Quinn was fantastic. And I can't wait till he gets in the midseason form. Let me put my headphones on because I'm getting ready to go to these calls. I've been waiting patiently. I appreciate y'all. I can't wait till Robert Quinn gets in preseason form because he was firing off the ball like a madman yesterday, bro. Like his ball get off his bend, that like bending that edge, man. It was so nasty, man. That shoulder lean. Shouts out to Young Dro, man. It was so nasty, man. We just got to get him to finishing. We just got to get Quinn finishing a little better. And I will say, you want to know the best thing that can help Cheeto, the best thing that can help Anthony Brown is pass rush. Pass rush. Some of those plays where Rosen scrambled around and made something happen, those don't happen. Those don't happen if we get Rosen on the ground. And we came close a lot to getting Rosen on the ground. Let me sneeze. My apologies. Damn, my bad. So yes, if you want to help your defensive backfield, I think pass rush is definitely going to need to be a factor in that. And I think I think that's going to be the one thing that's going to turn this defense around. Having the front four guys really like play how they supposed to play. That's going to be nasty. But when they shifted linebackers and tight ends over there to help on Quinn, that's when we need the three techs, the interior guys, the D-Law. We need them to really step this thing up and get nasty. You know what I mean? All right, headphones is live. Phones are ready to go. If you want to call into the show, that rhymes. The number is 515-606-5187, access code 309-104. Let's go to Space No, we're not going to go to Space Cowboy. We're going to keep this thing traditional. Space Cowboy, hang tight. We're going to go to Chris because Chris always opens this thing up. What's good, Chris?
What's up, man? Good morning, bro. Good morning.
You have what I call Voch Lombardi privilege, sir. Because you just get I skip Space Cowboy to get you like the fifth in line right now. But platinum platinum callers got privilege, man. What the hell you want me to say?
Hey.
Push the button.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Time's over.
You already know.
I'm listening to everything you say.
Go ahead.
Robert Quinn, man. I could have sworn I was listening to T.I. in the back out. Because he kept getting that shoulder lean, get the shoulder lean. Once he gets that together, man.
Let me tell you about Robert Quinn, man. And,
hey, man, I'm just telling you about it.
And don't even get this twisted. Let me say this before I say anything. Randy Gregory still rolls out the bed as the best pass rush on this team.
And gets four. He gets four before he brushes his teeth and wipes the crust out of his eyes.
The one thing that made me lose sleep last night, I was up late last night. The one thing that made me lose sleep, I was like, boy, I will push D-Law to the sideline if I can get Randy Gregory and Robert Quinn on the field at the same goddamn time. Chris.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes, without question. Dude, you had that. Man, I'm telling you, me and you could go play the 1 and the 3 technique because, we gonna bust A and B gap up and do our thing.
I'm playing.
Them two jokers come, please.
I'm playing free safety because the ball ain't never coming out. I'm on patrol.
Man, that NASCAR package will be so nasty. You got Robert Quinn, Malik, D-Law, and Randy Gregory. What?
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do with that kind of pressure, man?
Nothing.
Coming off the edges like that, man.
Nothing.
It's insane, man. It's insane. Just going back and watching that, you hit the nail on the head about Chidobe. Great, but what you said about Byron Jones, man, when he did that, man, I said, put the strap down.
Put it away.
Holster that thing.
Holster the strap. Holster the strap.
That is by far the nastiest.
Listen, we got a lot of celebrations, and I was so happy when Quinn got his sack and he was galloping like Josie Wells and shit. Like I was happy for him. That boy looked like outlaw Josie Wells on the horse. But listen, ain't nothing better than Byron Jones horsing that strap, fam.
That's it, man. At the end of the day, man, if you look at it right now, you want to get people paid. I'm telling you right now, you got to find a way to pay him because you could probably keep you could turn around even if you had to let Chidobe walk. You could keep Jordan Lewis because Jordan Lewis want to play, but you cannot let Byron Jones walk. You can't let Byron Jones walk. Yeah. I mean, without question, because right now looking at it, going by what you were saying about the teams that we're going to deal with, just going to be able to shut down one part and you got to revert to something else. Sure. I think Green Bay can do that. I don't think New Orleans can do it. Sheldon Rankins was out last week. I think he's hurt, so I don't think New Orleans is going to be able to do that. I'm not going to expect to give up a kickoff return or fumble comeback because at the end of the day, Teddy Bridgewater gave you 20 points.
Sure.
My football team, I could take them anywhere on the planet. They're going to score 20 points right now.
Sure.
So I'm not worried about that. I will go to the Dome and do that, but I know you're going to come with the breakdown and everything later on in the week because I got to watch my film sessions, at least 3. And plus that extra one that my man threw that dub in there. Threw that C-note up in there. Yeah, you got to do that one.
That boy paid the whole light bill in one swipe, boy.
Yeah, man. Man. I don't know if he was grinding packs on the side or he got some folks on the street, but whatever he had to do to make that happen, God bless him, man.
Listen,
I'm gonna get out your way, man. Hey, listen, do this, man.
Yeah.
Next time you get to the table, if you can't get all 4, the Immaculate Law Nation, if you can't get the ever controversial Okoye Media, man, or my dude that wants to be a producer, rapper, singer, coach, jack of all trades, master of everything. My man Foot the King.
Yeah.
Throw my boy Space Cowboy on the table. Get him a little small chill on the side, man, because he is the protege, man.
We're going to do
He's
it.
the protege, man. Man, bring my boy Space Cowboy. I'm putting that out there for him. That's my cat. Put Space Cowboy up there and let him go with you guys at the table, man.
We'll do. Thanks for the call, Chris.
Hey, man, appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Man, that is what we call platinum privilege right there, man. Chris was at the end and he jumped to the front of the line because that's what happens here. Carlo, you heard that?
Hell yeah.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it? What do you think?
Man, I love the platinum privilege, but I didn't realize that he had platinum first class privilege.
Hey man, it's levels, some of y'all platinum to where I go to the platinum people before I go to the unknown number people, but then there's people like Chris. Then there's 100 grand. Then there's those guys that jump way over y'all. Miss April, that jump way over y'all. So it is what it is. But what's good, man? How about your Cowboys, man?
Man, they're doing real good. Obviously, still taking it week by week because I'm not trying to overreact and try to jump to conclusions. But hey, as a fan, you can't be not excited,
I'm jumping all the damn 50-inch vertical jumping to conclusions. Let's do it. But go ahead.
No, I think that there's a lot of things to take away, but I would argue the most important thing to take away from the 3-game stretch that we saw is that the Cowboys have been able to really respond when things haven't really gone their way. Let me explain. In the Miami game, they had over, I think 100 yards worth of penalties. Yeah. You had situations to where, Randall Cobb had a touchdown called back that would have probably just put that game away there. You had a situation to where Amari Cooper dropped a pass and stuff like that. But I think that the most important – and then Dak throwing an interception. When you look at all those things, nothing really went wrong. I mean, on those certain plays on offense where there were miscues, whether it would be penalties or drops, they managed to score on those drives. Dak throwing the interception didn't result in any points being generated off that turnover. And I think that's an underrated part about this Cowboys team that a lot of people aren't talking about. Yeah, obviously, the offense is clicking. The defense is starting to kind of slowly get itself together now. But the fact that they're able to, if you look at previous Cowboys teams, they don't really adjust after halftime. It's pretty much we just go with the flow and hope to God it works. Mm-hmm. You look at what the Cowboys have done in the past couple of games. They've outscored their opponents in the second half, even when they outscored them in the first half. And then they didn't let Miami score at all in the second half of this game. They only let Washington score, 14 points, but granted, that was garbage time stuff.
Sure.
And then with the Giants, you only held them to, I believe, 10 points in the second half. It should have just been 3, but again, another garbage time touchdown. And so that is the stuff that's going to win you games. It's the fact that you can get up early on these opponents, whether they're good or bad, and then you can put the game away by running the clock out with Zeke and, scoring fast. And we talked the last game, if I remember. We said, hey, listen, if this is the way we have to win games to get us to where we want to go, I'm cool with it. If it means, hey, we got to put up 21 points in the first half, 14 points in the first half by throwing the ball, then giving you a dose of Pollard and Zeke, whoever it may be, to slowly, starve you to death and kill you.
Yeah.
But at that, and that's my biggest takeaway from what I'm seeing from this Cowboys team. They're 3-0. They're going to be going into New Orleans. And, hey, listen, just let the cards fall into place. You're looking at the rest of the NFC East. They're not looking so hot right now. But you can't take, you got to take advantage of that opportunity.
Sure.
You have an opportunity to keep this train rolling. Let the other teams fall at their dismay. If they win, who cares? You're at least 2 games up in your division. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe if you keep your train rolling and you keep taking it week by week, next time we're talking in sometime in mid-season, we could be talking about how the Cowboys pretty much have handled their business and got the NFC East wrapped up by Thanksgiving. I'm saying that's going to happen, but it can.
I think it's incredibly difficult, or it's going to be incredibly difficult to shut this offense down because it has so many angles to it. You need a certain personnel group to do it. If you look at look at the Rams, right? They may have like Weapon X Aaron Donald to do it, but they ain't got the DBs to do it, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think
agree,
they have the DBs to shut them down, right? Or if you're a team that got a bunch of okay, like look at the Saints, to where they don't have one Weapon X guy. They got a D-line full of people, right? And then they got Marshawn Lattimore over there that can follow Coop. Now, I've seen Coop beat Marshawn Lattimore, but I still feel good about terrorizing Eli Apple. You know what I'm saying? I still feel good about that. Regardless of whatever D-line matchup you put us against, I still think with Travis coming back, that gives us an extra boost to run the football a little better. You know what I mean? So it's not just one thing you can do to shut us down, like when we had damn Darian Thompson lining up at the Z. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you know, it's so much. And then when Gallup come back, man. Can you imagine?
That's what I'm,
yeah, go ahead.
Like because that's what I'm trying to get at. Is like, think about it. If the Cowboys at worst are sitting, let's say, like, well, Gallup's out, I believe, 4 to 6 weeks, something like that. I don't remember. I can't off the top of my head.
Sure.
But if he comes back and the Cowboys are at worst 7-2, hypothetically, I know that's still more than whatever, but that's besides the point. If they're coming back and they're like, hey, they just got to win a couple games to clinch the division with still like 6 weeks to go. You know how scary that is, considering how good this team looks, and considering, like, hey, if, like, right now we're like, well, what the hell is going on with the defense? But guess what? Like you mentioned earlier in the show when I was listening in, if the games are won in the fourth quarter, games are won in the second half. Sure, you could put up, 28 points and hold a team to 3 points through 3 quarters, but at the end of the day, you still have a job to do, and that's winning the game in the fourth quarter. Looking at you, Atlanta. But, look, this Cowboys team has a ton of potential to do something special, and I think they will do something special this year. Look at the rest of the NFC. I would argue they're the best team in the whole conference, based on how much talent they've accumulated and looking at how well the schedule is looking for them. You know, especially if they can win their next 2 games, depending on how well – look, I'm not expecting blowouts, but God forbid you win these 2 games, you're looking very, very good.
You know,
considering if the
I don't fear the Rams, and I don't fear the Packers, man. The Rams and the Packers, I would say, are the 2 teams I would put way up front. You know, with Bridgewater playing quarterback, that's still a tough team, but I can't put them top whatever with Bridgewater there. I think the Rams and the Packers are the teams that we really got to figure out, but I think we'll beat the shit out of them. Like knowing the Cowboys will beat the Rams, but we'll lose to the damn Jets or something. You know what I'm saying? You know.
No, and I will say, listen, I'm taking this week by week, but you know, there as an the inner side of me that's the fan, and the emotional part's like, you know, if we could just win these games, man, I wonder where. Listen, again, we're 3-0. It's on in New Orleans. We got to try and get to 4-0 now. That's our next goal. And hey, we're trying to still get to phase 1. Like, I try to divide this into a couple phases. Phase 1 is winning the NFC East and getting a playoff spot.
Sure.
We're not done that part. Once we get that part done, then we're looking at other goals, and that's winning the conference, winning a playoff game, winning the Super Bowl, stuff like that. So we still got to get phase 1 done before we can start talking about phase 2, and that's just my mantra about this season. Because, listen, you're supposed to beat these teams. And I guarantee you that if they can do this against the better teams in the conference, and I put air quotes on better teams because I still think that, you know, some of these teams are a bit overrated in my opinion. But you get that job done, sky's the limit for this team, plain and simple. So,
I feel you, fam. Appreciate plug your channel before I hang up on your ass.
Oh, I see how it is. You guys can follow me at Space Cowboy 17 on YouTube. I'll drop the link momentarily in the chat. You could also follow me on Twitter at Space_Cowboy_17. Close to 4,000 subs. YouTube's being stupid. I don't know exactly how much it is because they've been abbreviating crap. I don't know why. But hey, you know what? We're almost there to 5K, but we still got some work to do. Voch, thank you so much for having me on your show. Have a good one, man.
Salute, famo. La da 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 da. We'll get you up out of here. Who else up in here? Let's see. Let's get Dave from New York. What's up, Dave? Dave from New York.
What up, Voch?
I can hear you breathing, man. What the hell? What's up, man? What you?
Isn't that a good thing, Voch?
What you have me on mute or something?
Yeah, I wasn't on. My bad. I didn't know I was next. My bad. Anyway.
Damn. What's up, brother? What you got for the show?
I got something. I'm liking the fact that even though Kellen Moore is a new OC, he's making those halftime adjustments that we didn't do in previous years.
Okay.
And also, in terms of health, we healthy now, but our defense, I think they need to pin those ears back and do their thing. And I think that's going to come as the season progresses. Everybody, kind of the chemistry. I think the chemistry needs to get, when they get the chemistry going, I think we'll be fine. Like I said to you before, top 5 defense, top 10 offense.
I'm with that. I'll take that. That's a Super Bowl winning formula. And in terms of the defense, I do think that it just takes a little bit of just a couple more games to get right, man. There's a such thing as mid-season form. I think that's a real thing. And I always go back to this one point. I always say, if you look at the Cowboys defense last year, they played 3 cool games. Like they had this game versus the Lions where they scored like 27 or whatever, and we was questioning them then. And then the 4th game, it kind of got rolling. Then 5th game, they was top tier, and they haven't looked back since. So I think it takes about 5 games to really get this thing going for real. And also, I think pass rush will help everybody else. So let that pass rush get going, and we'll cross that road. But you're right though, Dave. Top 5 offense, top 5 defense. That's how to do it. I'm with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that sounded like you poured a 12 glass of water earlier. You know what I mean? That sounded like you poured a 12 glass of water.
Well, I'm from Mississippi, man. Well, I'm from Mississippi, so I like to drink my water in mason jars. So 100%, Mr. Wolf.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think ain't nothing with that water. We're drinking a lot of water, and that water always tastes good afterwards. You are 100% correct, Rob.
Talk to him. That's all you got?
That's all I got, boss. I enjoy you, and I'd like to thank you for taking my call. And everybody, how about them Cowboys?
Appreciate it, Dave. How about them Cowboys, man? How about them? Shit, undefeated. Cowboy undefeated. Where my button at? Where my damn button? All right, let's get back to the phones then. We got a couple more people on the phone. Let's see what we're talking about here. Let's see what we're talking about. And also let me say this, because I just said this on Twitter. This for everybody. Hey man, don't tag me the Cowboy beat writers that's putting film and Cowboy opinions on Twitter. I don't want to see that. Like, I try not to block people on Twitter because I'd rather just cuss. I'd rather just cuss and get you out of my life. But don't tag me to some Cowboy beat writer's Twitter opinion, because I don't care. I have my own. And don't tag me to some Cowboy beat writer breaking down film on Twitter, because I watch film myself. I don't need them. So please, if you don't mind, thank you very much. Also, before we get going, get the last minute calls in, because I'm about to lock this phone up because I got some film to be looking at. So 515-606-5187, access code 309104. Get in while you can fit in. 318. What's happening? Who this?
It's Taylor down in Louisiana.
What up, Taylor? What you got? What the water tastes like down there in Louisiana, Taylor?
Tastes beautiful on a Victory Monday.
That's what I'm talking about. What you got for the show?
Well, I had a few things, but I wanted to elaborate on Space Cowboy. He's talking about games won in the second half, and I heard this stat yesterday. In the second half, first 3 games, Dak is 29 of 32, which is 91%.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 3 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. And this ain't no dinking and dunking 29 of 32. He's at 14 yards per attempt, so I thought that was pretty interesting.
Damn, keep going. That's nasty. Keep going. I like that.
Other thing was, I thought we came out pretty stale, and one thing that really impressed me yesterday stood out was after the Cobb touchdown got called back on the holding penalty. Dak didn't fret. He just picked that defense apart, went right back down the field.
Right back to him. Yeah.
We still got the touchdown, didn't we?
And I'll say this, though, Taylor. I was sick when it got called back, because I'm a big fan of Randall Cobb, man. And I didn't want that touchdown to be called back. I wanted the old man to get into the end zone, man. But you're right. We actually went right back to Cobb, and then it ended up being a Cooper touchdown or whatever. So I like that we didn't get bashful there. But man, I wanted Cobb to have his numbers. But go ahead.
That was Quinn. You touched on that, man. I thought Quinn played great. He wasn't finishing, but first game out of the gate, he kept jumping off the screen at me, man. I thought he was doing real good. So that's always something we could build on, like you said, mid-season for him. With D-Law and him coming from both sides, where you gonna escape?
Absolutely, 100%.
Pretty much all I got. Just want to call in, throw my 2 cents out there. Looking forward to the film breakdowns. I watch them every week. So
Man, appreciate it, Taylor. This your first time calling?
yes, it is.
I just plugged you in platinum, so next time you call, you ain't got to wait so long, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Da-da-da. See, that's called platinum privilege, y'all. See, you call in with good questions and comments, you get plugged in platinum. Some of y'all platinum different though. some of y'all platinum a little better than others. Example, if y'all been watching my post game shows, Naeem has been going crazy. Naeem got all kind of privilege over y'all. Like y'all think y'all got privilege, oh buddy. It's a handful of people that got more privilege than Naeem. Oh goodness. Let's keep going though. Adrian, what's up?
What's going on? So I would say the biggest thing that we can take away from the Dolphins game yesterday is that we didn't have any injuries. That was my biggest concern coming away from yesterday. And also we got to see how what the backups could do. You know, how we could do without Michael Gallup. You know, I feel like our offense started a little bit slow because we didn't have Michael Gallup back there backing up Amari Cooper.
Sure.
But I mean, we also got, you know, I think we put an emphasis on using Tony Pollard because we didn't have Michael Gallup back there, and we're trying to see how well this offense could operate without us having the supreme passing game. And also, people's like, oh, you know, Dak Prescott was you know, being reckless back there. I think he was just trying to test some things out. The same thing that Patrick Mahomes was doing for the first 3 games of the season this year as well. You know, it just seemed like he was just trying to test his limits with the offense and try to see if he can just, you know, fit things in places that he didn't do last year.
I don't mind the high risk, you know. I don't mind that, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been getting on the Dak, like dink and dunk Dak was a real thing for a minute, you know what I'm saying? Like that was a real conversation, and you know we were defending it because hey, the best quarterbacks dink and dunk. But now if you pushing that thing down the field, we got to know what we're able to do when we're pushing the thing downfield. And to be fair, I would have rather try that against the Dolphins than against the Patriots. To be fair.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Try it now to see if you don't try nothing new in the big games. Do what's been working in the big games. You know what I mean? So that's a fair point.
Yeah, I get that for real. Also, I will say this: I feel like the Eagles now know what we went through last year when we had a terrible wide receiving core, and all their wide receivers are dropping footballs left and right. Because people forgot last year we had the most dropped footballs in the first 8 games of the season. It's like if our wide receivers were – and Dak was hitting people in the hands last year. It's like, oh, Dak is terrible. Dak can't throw the football. You know, if you go back and watch the film, at least 8 or 9 of those footballs that were dropped were hitting people in the hands or hitting them in the face mask. It's like, how do you blame Dak Prescott on that if his wide receivers are catching footballs? We had Deontay Thompson and Allen Hurns as our number 1 and number 2 wide receivers. It's like that's not even a fair comparison. And now the Eagles get to deal with that because they got Allen, they got Aguilar, captain. I have hands half the time, man, dropping footballs every now and again.
Listen, man, Adrian.
It's like you don't have D-Jack in Alshon Jeffrey.
Listen, man, life is short. Don't waste your breath that you could be using breathing. Talking about what an Eagles fan was talking about what an Eagles, because they're gonna make every excuse. I was on Philly 500 page yesterday. I was on Philly 500 page yesterday.
I was there.
One of them scrubs over there. One of them scrubs in this chat box over there said, "Oh, it's more impressive to lose to the Vikings than it is to win." In what sport? What the hell wrong with y'all? Huh?
It's like losing, still losing, bro. You got to put up them dubs. That's what it's all about. Dubs.
Boy, the Eagles
get those dubs.
Boy, the Eagles look like they trying to get Tua Tagovailoa up in Philly. Boy, what the hell going on? What the hell y'all trying to do?
Man, we're gonna smack the mess out 2-2. I don't know why people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna go get 2 and we're gonna ride. It's like, look, man, if your offensive line can't protect them, Tua gets hurt. Tua is way too fragile to be playing in the NFL.
Time out,
he can't
sir.
take hits.
Time out, sir. You say we're gonna do what to Tua?
We're gonna smack the mess out of him. I don't know what people talking about. It's like, look, man. If people was like, look, man. Right now, our defensive line isn't even at full form right now, and not to mention if we can get Randy Gregory back, if we get another defensive end that's equally as good to him, I don't know what all these offensive lines are gonna do against us. It's like, especially due to the fact that preseasons have been cut in half and people aren't playing making sure their offensive lines are good to go. It's like, look, man. I feel like us and the Patriots are one of the few teams that let our offensive line play during the preseason to make sure everyone's good to go. Because you have to have an offensive line. They have to be good to go. They have to be gelled.
Then you want to know the best part about it?
You're gonna have problems.
Then you want to know the best part about it? The Eagles' best quarterback playing in Jacksonville.
Yeah, he's playing in Jacksonville.
And his clavicle hurt. Whatever. Appreciate it.
I feel bad for them.
Thanks for
yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Why am I so ignorant, man? I'm ignorant as hell. What's my problem, man? Something wrong with me. Whatever. I got time to be dealing with this. Listen, man. In my tenure as a Cowboy fan, I never had problems with Redskins fans. Never had a problem with it. Like, there's some Redskins people I don't like. Never had a problem with them. The Giants win 4 games. They want to come in here and talk crazy. Then I hated Giants fans for a while. Now they've been humble and quiet because they've been trash for the past couple years or whatever. So I ain't been saying. But boy, nothing make my back itch more than an Eagles fan. But nothing makes my teeth whiter than to say, "Oh, the Eagles lost yesterday." Oh, boy, talk about my back hurting, boys. Jeez. I sound like an Eagles quarterback with all this hurting I'm doing. Cam, what's up, brother?
What's up, Voch?
What the water tastes like over there?
Oh, tastes crystal clear, delicious.
Let me just pause it for a second. Let me just pause.
Yeah.
You know the water fantastic when you go, ooh. Wait a minute.
Yes,
Wait a minute. Wait, where my button at? We can't. That boy. I say, Cam, how's what? He said, woo. Hey, Cam, hold on, time. Wait a minute. Wait, Cam, stop. Cam, you ever seen Pulp Fiction?
Yes, sir.
You remember Winston Wolfe walked in the kitchen and he told Jimmy give him some coffee, and then Winston Wolfe sipped the coffee, looked back at Jimmy, and said, That wasn't coffee. That was cowboy water, man. My bad, Cam. My bad, Cam.
No, you good.
What you got for the show?
But I mean, you got to play defense. You got to put a lid on that water, because if you don't, you're going to get some of those Philly tears in it. So you don't want to get too salty.
Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. My bad, brother. My bad. Tell me about your Cowboys, sir.
Oh, man. Real quick, I just wanted to call this out. Week 1, week 2, we've all been watching what Kellen's been doing, the magic that he's been putting together. And I've been trying to see, okay, what is Kellen doing as far as making sure that he's bringing something different, or he's making small adjustments and just trying to throw people off based on what he's done in previous weeks, making sure that's coming full circle. And we saw that at the very beginning on that atrocious coverage on Amari Cooper, wide open. You see, week 1, week 2, we were doing lots and lots of slants, double slants this, double slants that, different formations, slant. And what does Amari come out of the gate do? He runs a combo route where he comes in, slants in, and the guy totally bites it. At that point, Amari does what he does, puts the brakes on, breaks back out to slant out, and he's wide open over the field, man. It was a thing of beauty. And I was like, look, they totally saw this on film, and this is my boy Kellen Moore just going wrinkle in that. Let me see what you got.
I think
Kellen. It was great.
Fantastic point. I think Kellen does have a lot in the tank, because I've seen a lot of people on the social media say that they hope Kellen doesn't run out of wrinkles. Well, I don't think we've really seen anything deathly complex. You know what I mean? Like we're still seeing basic counter, basic, inside outside zone that's just being executed well. And in terms of the routes that we're winning on, we're winning with just leverage. Now, one wrinkle that I saw yesterday that I haven't seen in the first 2 weeks, Zeke and Tony was on the field at the same time, and they ran like this triple option type of deal. Now, Dak wasn't on the move, and it really was RPO type of deal, but it was a read option to Zeke, Dak pulled, and Tony ran the swing behind him, and that was the option there. I think it was a penalty why it didn't work out or whatever, but that was a wrinkle that we haven't seen before, and I will break that down on film this week. But I think Kellen got a lot of stuff that he's waiting to show.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
I think that people, you look at him, you think he's young, but like this guy has been in football his entire life.
Sure.
So, I mean, we're not even the game. I'm like the markup down on the calendar that the game I'm looking at is the Pats game. That's what I want to see, right? Are we going to get outcoached again?
Man, come on, Ken. Man, we gonna beat the shit out the Pats, man. What are you saying, Ken?
Hey, respect's due.
Fair.
But our defense, you better be ready. They're going to come and bring it.
Sure.
And Chris Richard, another coaching point here, and this is kind of leading what I was saying into as far as coaching goes. Chris Richard comes out, and you know that defense had a talk, because that defense is like, look, what are we doing? Like, why did they even have 6 points on the board? Because they shouldn't.
Sure.
And they came in and they got the 3 sacks. They looked completely different in the second half. So I was glad to see adjustments on the offensive side, but also adjustments on the defensive side. They got those guys there. They started getting pressure. They started getting sacks, and it really just threw off everything that we're going to do. And so mid-season form, baby, it's coming. Like we're so close to it, and I'm hoping this next week is the game where we come out and defense really shuts down Teddy Bridgewater.
In terms of defense, to say that we haven't seen a complete game from them yet, we still doing all right. They're still doing fine. Yeah,
100% agree. Right?
Yeah,
we're being nitpicky.
Yeah,
but that's because we do have an expectation of what we saw mid-season last form. Now, I, like you, agree. Like, look, we haven't been bad. We've had some broken plays. We've had some missed tackles.
Sure.
We are getting in shape. But man, when you see it in the spurts that we've seen it in,
sure,
you're like, oh, this is only going to get better. This is only, like, even Anthony Brown didn't look bad. I mean, it was Miami, but even Anthony was making plays out there.
Tell you what,
Jeff
man.
Heath was going after the ball. Like,
I tell you what, man, the one thing that's going to help Brown and Heath and Darian Thompson, however long he's out there, pass rush. If we get that pass rush nasty as it can be, the DBs will be as good as they were. So I have no worries, my good sir. Hey, man, fantastic call, Ken. Let me clap it up for you, man. Fantastic call.
Yeah.
You already platinum, but you might get super platinum soon. You keep doing this, man. Come on now.
All right, man.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Fantastic.
Keep it up, man.
Yes,
Great
sir.
work.
Appreciate
Always
it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Uncle Dave dropping the deuce in the super chat. What'd he say? He says, Saints going down. Flex thumbs up. You already know. Shit. Man. Have no fear of these people, man. Y'all know the vibes last year, bro. And I don't even want to really talk crazy to the Saints. I want to have a very cordial, positive discussion this week. I'm gonna hit up Deuce Wyndham. I'm gonna see if we can get some work done this week. Just to highlight the Cowboys on his channel, highlight the Saints on my channel, whatever it is we need to do. Get him going, and but I don't feel like the bitterness that we felt last year, because last year when we were going on the run, and I'll say this. Partially why I feel that way, I think we were because we were the underdogs last year. We were the underdogs, and I feel like we could beat them. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we could beat them. Frankly, football phone still. Hey, let me unlock the phone for you, Brandon, because I want to get your thoughts as well. So when you hear phones unlock, call in so I can lock the phones back up. So
the conference has been unlocked.
Call in, Brandon. What was I saying? I was saying something about that. Oh, yeah. The Saints we were considered the underdogs last year versus Saints. So, like, I felt some kind of way. I had a little extra passion. Like, you know what I mean? I made a rap. I made a diss song. Like, I felt that way about the Saints. You know what I'm saying? But this year it seems like, well, I'm a little more cordial. I'm gonna chill out, and I just wanna
The conference has been locked.
I just wanna play the game and just, call my shot and, take care of business versus Saints. That's just how I feel this year. So that just is what that is there. Let's get into one of these calls real fast. Aloha, Young Wilson in the chat box there. 804, what's happening? Who this?
Hey, Coach, it's John.
What's good,
I've been
John?
watching this game since. Hey, brother, I've been watching this game since the stinking Green Bay Packers held us on the 1 yard line and Bart Starr snuck over for a 1 yard touchdown. Stole an NFC Championship game from us in 1966. And the main reason I want to bring that up is because I was 11 years old, and since then I spend my seasons looking for how in the world the NFL can rob us of a championship. And I'm telling you, they always find a way. I was seeing flags yesterday I wasn't crazy about. My biggest concern right now is this secondary. Woozy ain't giving me no good vibes. I ain't feeling good about it. We don't have ball hawks. We can't dominate. Cowboys have always got to be better than the other team and the refs. And that's what I worry about. So I hope you, and I love this new generation of social media guys, you and Shango and Law. Man, I get my football all the time. I'm retired now. I love it. And you guys brighten my day. Other thing I would say, I hope people enjoy Tony Pollard because it's the beginning of a great career. This guy is, I looked at Tony Dorsett's numbers coming out of college. Same height, same weight, same smooth running style. If you put them big old 70s shoulder pads on Tony Pollard, you'd see the same guy. 4.3 40, both of them. This guy is going to be magical for us for years to come. I just hope we ever get the ball on the 1 yard line, they hand it and him up the middle. So my big concern out of everything, Mark Holmes used to get mad at me because I've been a Dak doubter. He used to call me a hater, but I've been a Dak doubter until the first 3 games of this season. He took the final step. He's there.
I tell you what,
us an elite.
I tell you what, my good sir, I don't even want to hate on you for being a Dak doubter because I just consider you to be a Cowboys fan that want the best for your team, and you may or may not have considered Dak to be the best for your team. All that matters, though, John, all that matters is that you on the bandwagon now because, John, I don't know if you listen to Drake, but Drake got a line. He says, the bandwagon's full, but you can try to run behind it, and I'm glad that you're on the bandwagon now because when this thing get to like week 15, 16, 17, it's going to be too late for anybody to jump on this. It's going to be too late.
Well, amen. Believe me, no matter what, I always root for Dak. I want him to win because he's my quarterback.
Absolutely.
But I've always questioned if he was the future. Now I'll lock us in for 10 years and pay the man $40 million because he's there. This last step he took in mechanics, the release is so fast I can't even. He's a second and an eighth, and the ball is gone. This guy has amazingly improved every year in 4 years. But I'm telling you, my biggest concern is somebody like stinking Aaron Rodgers is going to light us up in an NFC championship game. We're going to be all going along feeling like we own a Super Bowl ring and we ain't going to get one. So I love Chris Richard. Best hire of a coach since we invented Kellen Moore. My God, Chris Richard should be the next head coach and keep Kellen Moore. But I'm so worried. He's taped this secondary together with a group. Of all the groups, this is the least talent on the team, and it's critical. We're going to get lit, and nobody's going to see it coming if we don't get rid of a Woozy or do something. We need Jalen Ramsey. I would trade the future away to get a Super Bowl this year, and my God, I'm so worried about our secondary. And if you guys break that down and look at it, no ball hawks. You won't see a lot of coverage. I like he's a hitter, and I'm not saying that just because he lit up Hearns. We don't see guys playing the ball except for Byron Jones. And I need to see better coverage than we're seeing out there. And if you can't do it with personnel or get undrafted free agents somehow this year, that's what we got to fix. We always got to be getting better right to the last damn game.
I think, and this is a fantastic call, by the way, I think our defensive backs are fine. I think Jeff Heath is a ball hog. I mean, he leads this team in interceptions. Actually, I think Byron is a fantastic corner. I think Cheeto is a fantastic corner. He just got to find the football. I think this system works to where our DBs can work better as a whole than they are as individual DBs. Jalen Ramsey is an individual DB. It may not be that much more of an improvement from Jalen to Cheeto in terms of us playing as a unit. You may get a little better, but as a whole, you may not get too much improvement. Now, before I kick Cheeto Uzi off a bridge, because one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get rid of a good, young, cheap cover guy that may be one skill piece away. The only skill piece from Cheeto is he got to find the football. Would you agree that he has great cover skills? Every time somebody catches the ball on him, he's right there. He's on the hip. All he got to do is turn his head around. So I'm not ready to push him off a bridge yet. You want to say,
in my day, I could run a step behind a guy, and I can reach my arm out. Now,
Sure.
Byron has mastered the talent of, and this is Chris Richard.
Sure.
He has mastered the ability to not just stay with a guy, but turn his head around and make it look like a play for the ball. He'd be in physical with people.
Perfect. Just
Cheeto
like you
can do
said.
that.
Perfect. Just like you said, Chris Richard. Let's let your coach get with your second corner, Cheeto Awuzie, and let the great Chris Richard teach Cheeto how to turn his head back. Because I tell you what, we talking about Cheeto now. I would hate to let him go and get some other corner that can play the ball fantastically well, but he can't man cover. So I would hate to do that. So let's just give it a little bit of patience before we start to trade everything away for Jalen Ramsey.
I hope you're right, man.
Absolutely.
I hope you're right.
Absolutely. Fantastic call, though, man. Appreciate you.
All right.
Da, 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 da. Hey, man, let me tell y'all something. John started off fantastic, though. Hey, John was way up here, but he said da da da, boom, 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 and I was like, hell yeah, John, I'm about to press the button for you. And then he was like, all our DBs is trash, and I say, oh shit, wait a minute, John. I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute, John. I said, wait a minute. Oh man, right in the chat box says that's a lie. Byron does not turn his head. That is absolutely not true. Byron absolutely does turn his head around. He did it a bunch Sunday. I'll show it on film if I need to. Brandon, you need to hit me on Discord so I can send you this money so I can get this Pelican case, man. I'm not playing with you.
No doubt. I'm holding it for you. I'm considering you the seller. I mean the buyer.
100%, man. Like give me your information. I'll get it today, but we'll talk about that in a minute though. But what's up though? What you got?
Yeah. So I went ahead and I was rewatching the game, using the online tools and going play by play. And I got this nice mossy oak double sealed container to keep my water nice and crisp.
Mossy.
Something still in it, Voch.
Wow.
Yeah. There's something still in it, Voch. As the game went on, I had my notebook. I was writing down who did what, good, bad, or ugly on each individual play, and I couldn't stop myself from getting excited.
Man.
I don't care that it's the Dolphins and things like that.
You should.
I'm looking at what each player did well.
Get into it. Tell us why.
And I'm still doing it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Jeff Heath is still a head knocker, and I love it.
Sure.
Because I feel like the NFL is going away from that,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, as far as a culture. And I like somebody that can still lay the wood on somebody. Yeah, he did it on Alan Hearns, and you know what I'm saying, I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Alan.
But
Hearns don't deserve that. He don't deserve that.
Yeah, he
but
did
that's
deserve
what you
that.
get for coming on the field with killers. That's what you get.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
Exactly.
But go ahead.
So I just came in when I asked if the phones lit. So what's the story for the day?
The story for the day is
What's the story for the day so I can answer any questions that you may have for the chat box.
my biggest thing that I want Cowboy fans chat box to do. The first thing I said when I hopped on here, I said, don't let Cowboy haters have more fun than you. You know what I'm saying? This is a time where we should be enjoying this season. We haven't had 3-0 in a while. We should be enjoying 3-0. So when people say that you're playing against high school defenses, that's a lie. When people say that your left guard is bad or your cornerbacks are bad or that your quarterback still don't deserve his money, all that is a lie. You take these W's, you enjoy them because you know what I'm saying? You never know what next year going to be like. So have fun this year.
Absolutely. You 100% right.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's almost hard to have more fun than the people that hate the Cowboys because people love to hate us.
and not just the team, the fans as well. They hate to see the fans happy. So it's all about just cutting out all of them haters and say, but are we 3-0? But are we 3-0?
Sure.
And then the people that say this position group is bad and that position group is bad, they are clearly wrong, because we just let the Dolphins put up 6 points. Yeah, they are a mediocre team, but they were in position to get 3 touchdowns in the first half of the game.
Sure.
And we stopped them every single time. So you're doing something right. You're doing something right. And if you're doing something enough to make people hate you, then you're doing something perfect.
Hold on. Let them know. Keep going.
So for all of the people, like, yes, Chidobe Awuzie has head turn issues, but he is attached at the hip, like he still got an umbilical cord to the wide receiver.
Sure.
And that's what you need. You need to not let people get away. It's all about, no game is gonna be perfect. Like a 90% score will pass a test. If a player, I'm gonna use Cheeto as an example, if he prevents plays 90% of the time, that's an A by the collegiate scale. So yes, no one is gonna be perfect, but if you want to kick a person off of the bridge, what are you going to replace them with?
That's what I'm saying. And
I don't think anybody has an answer for that right now.
I would much rather not play roulette with trying to find another corner, because I know Cheeto can play. And look, Cheeto can tackle. I like tackling corners. I like physical corners. Cheeto can cover. You just got to get his head around. And I think it's easy to teach somebody to get their head around than to teach somebody how to man. You can't teach somebody how to man cover. You just can't do it. So,
exactly.
So I mean, we'll get there. I mean, teach them how to cheat. Teach them how to grab jersey and then turn around and find the damn football. You know what I'm saying? Like, teach them those things. Chris Richard.
Exactly. I feel like the head turning thing, that's like a spatial awareness issue, and that's something that you could teach. You could teach a person how to become more aware. You can't teach genetics. So Cheeto got all of like the size things, the speed things to keep up and stick to the wide receiver. He just got to get the mental stuff, which is the spatial awareness that I just talked about.
So Brandon, let me ask you. So on your YouTube channel, Frankly Football, is this something that you would talk about? Is these some of the topics that you touch on your channel, sir?
Yeah, I haven't. I was watching the game in order to get my thoughts to do my post game, and show off the waves. That because that's what I do. I do Wave Wednesdays. I might do that on Wednesday. Who knows?
I'm not playing with you.
But
not playing with you. But go ahead, sir.
But yes, that is exactly something that I would touch on. Like you mentioned about Jalen Ramsey, I like cohesion with the team. I'm not sure if Jalen Ramsey could come in and immediately meld with the way that this team wants to do. Yes, his ability may be higher than Cheeto's, but how is he going to fit in? And that's something that I really wanted to touch on, since a lot of people are like pro get Jalen Ramsey right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. I think we draft so well. We don't have to resort to the let's go out and buy everybody trick. Now, I think the handful of people that we bought in via free agency, I think that's the right move. I'm not trying to bring in different personalities that can butt with each other. Randall Cobb is a humble old dude. You know what I'm saying? Quinn is a humble old dude. Jason Witten's back now. This is still kind of his home, but he's a humble old dude. And you don't want something that's going to butt with your current leaders. I remember the Carolina Panthers cut Steve Smith because they wanted Cam to be their leader. You don't want to have clashing personalities in your locker room. I think that's a lot of what's going on with the Eagles sometimes. Like when they try to build these super teams, but the chemistry just may not be there or whatever. I think that's a real thing, man. So
look at the Browns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All of this talent on offense, but can't put it all together.
They've compiled the best league, the best Super Friends, Justice League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. They put it all together, but that don't mean they're a team just yet. You know what I'm saying? And,
exactly. And I want to ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned having the humble old dudes in the locker room. Jalen Ramsey, of course, is 24, 25 years old.
Yes.
How do you think he would feel coming in and Jalen Smith and DeMarcus Lawrence are the leader on that defense.
Hey man,
How would that work with him?
one of my favorite animals are lions, male lions, because all they do is fight, smash, and take over territory. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And I just don't think it's very smart for outsider lions to try to work their way into the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Now, if you're a harmless ferret or something, sure, we'll let you in. You can contribute to the ecosystem, but we just can't have too many lions in this thing because they're gonna fight. They're gonna do what lions do.
And like I watched The Lion King recently. I don't think Jalen Ramsey is a lion. I think he's a hyena. You know, they get brought in with stars.
Why in tarnation does Jalen Ramsey have to be the hyena? That's evil.
Because
That's
evil.
evil.
they good hunters, and that's what Jalen Ramsey can do. He can go hunt on the field and get the ball. But did the hyenas get along with Mufasa and what was the wife's name? Sarabi and Simba and Nala?
Lions don't have wives. They just got a bunch of hoes and a bunch of kids, sir. Relax. That's a fact, sir. Relax. I do this nature thing. I do this nature thing, sir. But go ahead.
That Giovanni.
Oh man, what else did you notice, man? What else did you notice about Robert Quinn? What else did you notice about Tristan Hill? I tell you what, that one play that Joe Buck was giving Darian Thompson all the credit for it. They were trying to trap Tristan Hill, but Tristan Hill got upfield so quick. It kind of blew the trap up, and it made Darian Thompson able to make the play. That was the goal line play when the Dolphins were on the goal line about to score, and they gave away Taco number before Taco body was cold. I thought that was interesting, but yeah, man, talk to you. What else you see yesterday? Just talk to us, man. Tell us.
Going on Robert Quinn, I feel like Robert Quinn. The easiest way to explain him is Robert Quinn is really good. You forget that he had, I think it was 20 sacks a few years ago with the Rams. People forget that. That's not on accident. The Dolphins just didn't fit who he was. And I think that we saw a glimpse of that previous player yesterday.
Okay.
And, of course, it helps that he was on that team, and so he had kind of like the inside scoop on how to beat those guys. But we got to throw some respect on his name. Robert Quinn was still the HNIC with the Rams a couple years ago.
I think,
and that was with minimal help.
And I could be wrong here. This is just my mediocre YouTube dude thoughts and analysis or whatever. But Robert Quinn's best years were with the Rams, but I think he was that successful because he had a lot of D-line help. He had help surrounding him, and his scheme at the time was to get upfield and to tear shit up. When he went to the Dolphins, they tried to stand him up. They tried to make him read a little bit more, try to make him two gap sometimes. That's not you can't tame Robert Quinn. You just kind of got to make him get upfield and be effort guy. And what you saw every single play, whether he was getting a sack or not, he was bursting his ass upfield with high effort.
Because that's what Marinelli likes. He wants you to get up there and wreak havoc.
That's what he wants.
So
that's
he's
what
letting him be him.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I think Robert is a good fit with us, and I also think that Robert, in terms of our D-line, he fits our D-line as well. I just tweeted this, and I'll say it again. On third downs, I will send D-Law straight to the sideline, give me Randy Gregory and Robert Quinn on the outside, and let them children fly. Damn it.
Hey, Voch, I'm going to ask this again, man. I know I asked it a while back.
Go ahead, sir.
If Randy come back,
sure.
who you getting rid of? You getting rid of Joe Jackson?
Who am I kicking off the team?
Yeah.
That's a tough question, man.
Yeah. That makes me uncomfortable.
I would say one of my young offensive linemen, Mitch Hyatt or Brandon Knight. One of them got to go.
Man, I like him though, man.
I can't touch this D-line, fam. I cannot touch this D-line, bro. Joe Jackson had to play yesterday. Got his hands up. And Christian Covington got his hands up right after him, man. Like, I know what this D-line looks like without depth. We finally got some depth. I'm not trying to give it away, man. To be fair, I mean, like, we got rid of Taco to make room for Quinn. I mean, who's the next worst D lineman right now? Joe Jackson and Kerry Hyder, huh? You would say?
I would say, but I don't want to get rid of Joe. Joe too young.
I mean, yeah.
At least Kerry Hyder got some gray hairs on him. He got a little wisdom.
Man, but
He's been around the league for a little bit.
And there's something else too. And I fuss with people about this in terms of why Tristan's not playing, because Tristan is on an offensive line. He's on a defensive line full of starters. Kerry Hyder started in Detroit and got 8 sacks 1 year. Christian Covington started in Houston. What's his name? Quinn has started. Crawford has started. D-Law has all our depth guys have started. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to get rid of a starter, even if he's our third string guy. I'm not getting rid of a starter because Kerry Hyder going to get picked up immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather keep all those guys.
Snap of a finger.
Snap of a finger. So if I had to let go of somebody, hey, I'll tell you what. Hey, you ready? You ready for this? If Randy Gregory come back, I'm going to look over at Xavier Woods and say, hey, look, you all right? He going to say, yeah. I'm going to get Kayvon Frazier up out of here. He can go.
Okay. Whew, okay.
That made me feel a little better.
Okay.
Hey, just thought about it. Hey,
oh, my God.
Hey, yeah. Holla at you, Kayvon. Holla at you, bro.
Oh, yeah, Kayvon can get going expeditiously. T.I. word of the day.
Damn, Voch. Boy, Voch, I'm glad I thought of that, boy. I was going to be sick. Anyway, go ahead, my good sir.
Oh, man, but yeah, you already know who I would get rid of. I don't even care that he has been on the field a little bit. Jameis.
Oh, yeah, Jameis O'Walker. I tell you what, man, Kellen proved to me that he does have a plan for Jameis. Now, I agree. I think we can win without him. He can go, in my opinion. But if Kellen got a plan for him, I'm willing to give Kellen two guys I want to be set: Kellen Moore and Rod Marinelli. I want Rod to have all the D linemen he can get. I want Kellen to have all the pieces they can get. I want them to because they're the two that matters. Brandon Knight, Darian Thompson, Kayvon Frazier, those guys can go if it's up to me.
Absolutely. I definitely agree about Kayvon. I think, Thompson and Wilson, I think is the other guy's name. I think that they would be perfect fills of that spot.
Sure, 100%. Plug your YouTube channel so I can hang up on you and send you this money.
No doubt. YouTube channel is Frankly Football. I do pregame and postgame thoughts and opinions on every single week, and I also try to do other random little silly shit. Please give it a like, subscribe, watch all the videos. Shouts out to my man Voch.
So I hit you up on Discord. Where would you prefer me to hit you up at?
You can hit me up on the Instagram. _ King of Hearts.
I ain't got your Instagram, man.
We follow each other, I'm not sure.
I ain't got your Instagram. DM me, man, because I'm working right now. I'm doing the show. Please, DM me and I'm going to hit you up.
No doubt, I got you.
Thank you, sir.
I got you.
Shucks. Trying to send this man some money. What's wrong with him? Last call of the day. Let's get in and get out and get on with our life. Trill asks, do I have a Discord? Yes. The link to my Discord is in the description. I'm definitely going to be lighting that thing up soon. I'm going to I have a notion that I want to give away some prizes via Discord. So my link is in that description. Not this month because I'm sending shirts to Maddie B and Naeem. Naeem has definitely deserved it. I'm going to send them shirts this month. As soon as I got the phone. Yeah, as soon as I get off this thing. But yeah, I'm gonna be sending out stuff or whatever. So shouts out to Toot for watching at work. Don't get fired, bro. And I was just about to get into this last call, 336, but he hung up, so I guess that's all the phones then. Hey, I appreciate everybody for calling in. I appreciate everybody that contributed to the funk that we call the Voch Lombardi Morning After Show, drinking my coffee like Winston Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Let me get in on my super chats. David J dropped a dime. Appreciate you, sir. Adrian dropped 5. Uncle Dave dropped a deuce, and Young from Hawaii dropped a deuce as well. Go Dallas 3-0, hoping DB turns his head. Yeah, Cheeto gonna fix it, man. Cheeto gonna fix it. We'll be all right. Don't worry about it. Don't fret. Y'all know we're gonna run these ads to clear this thing up. Things that you could be looking forward to. I'm dropping 3 film sessions this week. Y'all be sure to stay tuned for that. I may drop an extra one. I'm going to try to get my man Deuce Wyndham on this thing so we can, break down some Saints. Give him a little look. From some of y'all. Y'all may want to go to his channel and hear some of his Saints analysis before we get going. And man, that's about it, man. Appreciate all of my sponsors and all of my future sponsors. Hit up my email if y'all want to drop some money, if y'all want to drop some bread and get your ads put up on this thing. But hey, y'all hold it down for the Doski Woski, man. Here's my ad section. Peace. My cable bill was way too high. I reached out to affordablesticks.com. They sent me a Fire Stick, plugged that thing into the HDMI. Now I get on shows, movies, and live TV. I'm a huge sports fan, so I love League Pass, Sunday Ticket, and I get the pay-per-view fights for free. There's something for the whole family. You can buy a Fire Stick for every TV in the house and still spend less money than you would on cable. That's affordablesticks.com. There's a link in my description. You should go click it. Cut the cord, man. The YouTube Illuminati is taking money away from your favorite content creators, and people often ask the best way to support the channel directly. I tell them that's subscribing to my Patreon. Just $1 a month would increase production and the frequency of uploads. Basically, that means more content for you. For less than a bag of almond M&Ms, you can support the channel, call dibs on requests for future videos, and you can have access to Patreon exclusive material like my throwback film sessions. That's patreon.com/Voch Lombardi. I appreciate the support. Doski Woski. Salute. After canceling my cable, I saved $2,400 this year by switching to Beast TV through channelsforcheap.com. Some people pay $200+ a month. I paid $120 a year, or you can go $15 a month if that's what's convenient for you. You get 2,500 HD channels. 1,000 of those are in English, and there are plenty other international channels, TV Guide, and we get all the sports. One of my favorite things is multi-screen feature. So if I don't know what I want to watch, I can tune into 4 different channels at one time that you can watch on 4 different devices, and it's available on Fire Stick, smart TVs, tablets, and if you're on the go, you can watch TV on your phone. Hit the link in my description or go to channelsforcheap.com where you can get a free 7-day trial. That's a whole week for you to just sit down and play with it and see what you like about it, then come back and make a purchase. Because if you have any questions, go to channelsforcheap.com, hit this little button right here, and they'll respond to you immediately. That is channels4cheap.com. The link is in the description. I highly recommend it. Let's do it.